Hello, everyone, and welcome to the High Sensitivity Gaming Show Game Awards. Brought to you by your host,
Oh my god.
Barry, along with his faithful other co hosts.
My name's Craig, normal voice. Christmas tree still up.
Oh my god. My name is also Craig. This was the year we died.
For the first episode,
You can't do it the whole time.
2025,
You can't. You just
we
can't.
want to bring you the greatest games of 2024 and the greatest awards. We're better than Jeff Keighley. We're better than all the other game awards.
Oh my
Only
God.
our game awards matter.
That sounds painful.
It is.
Yeah, it sounds painful.
Sound like you're straining.
I am straining.
You're gonna have no voice like 10 minutes in. It's gonna be gone. We got a lot of categories.
We do.
We do have a lot of categories, and in no particular
Oh my
order.
God. I'm
Let's
out.
go.
I'm out, guys.
Gosh. As I say, I hope the voice isn't too annoying, but I'll go back to my normal one. As you can see here, I'm dressed to the nines, dressed in my Louis Vuitton suit here, ready for us to give you the awards that go out to the games of 2024. And we don't miss.
I just want to say one thing, Barry.
Yeah.
Are you wearing shorts or sweatpants with that suit?
This is a podcast.
Oh my God.
It's business. It's all business.
All
Always
business.
all business.
He says
Top
it's
to-
all business.
It's all business.
T
I
to B,
let-
top to bottom,
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair.
Top to bottom business. Hair, business. Suit,
Yep.
business.
Yep.
Am I wearing dress shoes? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not even. I'm not walking around.
That's true.
Ah, yes.
But again, all of our awards here are in no particular order.
Yep.
We're gonna go through the list here, and we're gonna talk about what we think should win that category, and then we'll give out the award right then and there. It'll be interesting just because some of these games, not all of us have played. Some of these games, it's going to take passion to win. Do we have the passion? Do we have enough?
We do.
Let's find out with our first category. Best music.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, I'm done. I imagine that voice is going to sound so bad. I'm just going to have to cut this entire intro. I'm going to have to do it all over
Just
again.
redo the intro.
Yeah, I'll have to redo the entire thing. But Best Music or Damn That Slaps award.
Yep.
Do you just want me to read all of them? And then
I mean, you might as well. You
Stellar
get one.
Blade.
We'll trade off. Trade off
Yeah,
each
yeah.
category.
Didn't we do that last year?
I
we
think
traded
so.
up.
Give it to me.
Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Black Myth Wukong, Metaphor ReFantazio, Persona 3 Reload, Astrobot, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Craig, since Barry and I have not had a chance to really partake into Indiana Jones and the Great
Sure.
Circle, what's your case?
The case is, I mean, they have the iconic scores in there, but the majority of that game is based on like that type of instrumental music that you would expect from an Indiana Jones movie. It's just done extremely well. It's just a different, like if you're looking for like an upbeat, like, like Stellar Blade is more of an upbeat, Astrobot is, Final Fantasy VII is, it's more of like a subdued, but it helps in the moment when you're playing. So it doesn't have to win, but I think it should be recognized because they did a phenomenal job. That being said, I don't know if I can name like one song from Black Myth Wukong that
I concur. I don't know. Oh yeah, it's good, and they definitely fit the moment. But there's a bunch of other games on this list that I immediately went to the soundtrack right after, and that I listened to quite frequently. I mean, I don't have a Black Myth Wukong song on my phone. I definitely have an Astrobot, Persona 3, Metaphor, Rebirth, and Stellar Blade in droves in comparison. So,
yeah. I mean, yeah. So if we take out Black Myth Wukong and Indiana Jones, as we're saying, they're not going to win. It gets us down to 5. I mean, I think it's probably if we're being honest, it's what Stellar Blade and Final Fantasy. Is that wrong?
I mean, we've been arguing about this category all
We,
year.
we
Yeah,
have,
So
and
this
it's
is
been
not one
between
that's
those
just
two.
yeah.
Persona 3 was good. Metaphor was good. Astrobot was good. I listened to some Astrobot, but not a lot.
No, yeah, Astrobot
yeah,
we really haven't jumped right back into.
Just the
no,
Astrobot song itself, where he's saying Astrobot. I listened to that quite a bit.
right.
Astrobot.
Yeah, that
I'm
one.
Astrobot.
I like the one from the construction level I've played like 5 to 7 times, but
Okay,
I have like maybe 5 songs tops from Astrobot.
that's fair. Am I just gonna
Um,
get outvoted on Stellar Blade? So you guys
I
are
mean,
upset it didn't win at the Game Awards
I was gonna say America outvoted
because they
in
were right.
Rebirth's favor.
Because everybody was right. It's the one
Look,
thing Jeff did right.
I just want Stellar Blade to get its fair due. This music track slaps, and it slaps, slappering slaps.
I'm willing to let Final Fantasy slide because I feel like I would fight harder later for the one particular song from Final Fantasy. You know what I mean?
You're
Like
fair to do that.
overall, there's probably more bangers in Stellar Blade than Final Fantasy, but there's some big ones in Final Fantasy.
And when you're thinking about a bang, you're thinking about something like you're bopping to,
Yeah.
and like there's definitely some like low tones in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth where you're like, this is nice, this is calming.
I put that
And
kind of stuff on more so than anything.
yeah,
Right.
same here. And well, Silent Street does it too. It
Yeah.
feels like
Silent
that's no
Street
winning
does do
in
it.
any of this.
All right.
I think we take the win, Barry. He said he's willing to kind of lay down the guns.
He's negotiating here
He
because
is.
because we're gonna have to give on something we don't want to give. Is what we're doing. I know how
That's
this
fair.
works.
I marked it. Stellar Blade's in bold. That means it wins. Final Fantasy's in italics. That means it's runner up.
Okay.
Is that fair?
That's fair.
All right.
That's fair.
Do you want the next one or do you want me to do the next one? Your call.
You do the next one. I'll do the third.
Okay. I'm not going to do it in a voice, but best acting, the They Can Really Act award. We got 9 of them. We got a lot in here. Aerith, Brianna White from Final Fantasy VII. Tifa, Britt Baron from Final Fantasy VII. We're just going to keep going. Yuffie, Susie, Susie Young from Final Fantasy VII. Kiryu. I put the American actor. I don't know which one you preferred. If you had a preferred, Craig,
Yeah.
did you play it in English?
I played it in English.
Okay.
He's that damn good though.
Daryl.
He is.
Yeah. Daryl and Like a Dragon. Harley Quinn, Tara Strong, Suicide Squad. Aloy, Ashley Birch in Lego Horizon. Senua, Melina Juergens from Hellblade. Indiana Jones, Troy Baker from Indiana Jones. And Emmerich Voss, Mario Scavros from Indiana Jones. Got a lot.
Here's the question.
Sure.
That I think can help us with this category of 9. Did Britt and Susie really outdo Brianna as Aerith? Like Tifa was pretty good. Yuffie was nailed in terms of what
Yuffie was comedic relief.
Yeah.
And she nailed it.
And she did nail it.
Mm-hmm. I think Aerith's probably the best out of the 3. I would agree. The most
I would
range.
say so. I would say so. I think Tifa had her moments.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Aerith overall was nailed the best.
I can agree with that. I had Tara Strong on here way back when I played Suicide Squad, but I don't know if that holds up to anything else.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
She did good.
She did.
I don't think Ashley Birch wins this either, even though I think she did a great job.
Yeah, I love Ashley Birch as Aloy. Mm-hmm. She really does do a good job. But
again, that's comedic stuff in that game. Like she nails a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, it kind of shows that she's able to do both dramatic and comedic.
Mm-hmm. None of us are going to pick Melina, right? Senua?
I mean, she acted the hell out of that part.
She did.
Yeah, no, it's not so much against her as it is the game for me.
Sure.
I'm okay with that. She also won in real life, so...
She did. I
So
mean,
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay if we match on certain things. I can't take Troy Baker out because it's literally impossible to tell that it's Troy Baker and not Harrison Ford in that game. It's insane. And Emmerich Voss is the villain, and he does an incredible job. It's just one of those, like, again, Indiana Jones style movie, like that old time, just you hate that person on screen villain, kills it. But I think if I'm going to pick one, it's Troy Baker, because I literally could not tell that it was Troy Baker.
I'm okay with that. I like that we have a list where there are 2 Emmerichs from 2 different games.
Yeah.
On it.
It's true.
It's a big year for the name Emmerich.
It is. It's a good name.
It is a good name.
It sounds good. I would fight for Indiana Jones and Aerith. What else do we got?
I'm staring at Kiryu because I know how Kiryu made me feel.
Sure.
And I thought that he was fan freaking tastic at it. I think I wanted him on the list, but now that we have narrowed down the list, I don't think it was. I'm okay if he's not selected as number 1, is what I'm saying. It's pretty. He was pretty good though. Kiryu specifically was pretty good.
He was. Deep in
I
thought
do hear
over there.
I hear the villain is very good at Indiana Jones.
He's very good. He plays a good. I mean, it's Indiana Jones, so he plays a phenomenal Nazi. Absolutely incredible. Just that, like the way he talks and how arrogant he is.
I had to like think, hey, I can't say that. Nope, don't say that. It was gonna be funny. It was gonna be more funny. No, just better.
Like if you're gonna play a villain and it's a Nazi, you better nail it and like make you absolutely despise that character, and you do.
Right.
Like you hate that character. Troy Baker wins a lot.
Troy Baker does win. I mean, he's very good at what he does. He's
the man. Yep.
Yeah, he's the Kobe. You know,
He is.
Remember when people got mad when Kobe was winning all those?
Yep.
For me, it's between Aerith. I'll be with you on Troy Baker. I'm okay if Senua does not win. If Melina, specifically does not win on our podcast, because we literally got to clap at her winning at the awards show. We can match the awards show, obviously, but
yeah, it's a tough one.
I might go Aerith.
Going Aerith. I mean, I'm still a little upset she didn't win the Game Awards, and I know I shouldn't care.
Right.
Yeah, Aerith. Yeah, I think
it's fair.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can find some Emmerich stuff real quick.
I was gonna say I think we do like a runner up here and put Emmerich Voss as runner up, because from everything I've heard.
Oh, this isn't even right. Oh, this is when he's in German. I got to get him when he's talking in English. That's what we need.
It sounds like a good German.
He's very, yeah. Here we go. Hold on. It's a lot of German, apparently, that I just didn't notice.
Yes.
I mean, I think Aerith wins, and then I'll let you guys decide. Runner up.
I put Emmerich as runner up.
You put Emmerich?
Damn. Yeah. You want Emmerich?
We'll put Emmerich.
All right.
Okay.
Got it. Done. Done and done. Rolling along.
All right. Best horror. Games that scared the shit out of us. I don't know why I bleeped myself there.
Yeah, you can curse. I'm going to put explicit on this anyway.
Silent Hill 2. Black Ops 6. Still Wakes the Deep. Lake House DLC. Until Dawn Remastered. And A Quiet Place: The Road Home.
Barry, you played one of these.
which is good. That's a good Barry year. That's
I
To be
think.
fair, I
Go ahead.
really I wanted to I really should have started the Lake House DLC already.
Mm-hmm.
So like I really can't I think vote on this as much as you guys can who's played the horror games.
Still can. How'd you feel about Black Ops?
I thought Black Ops was good, but in a good way that I didn't expect it,
Sure.
which I guess is like kind of the best horror in a lot of ways. Is the stuff that you're not expecting. Like Black Ops has never been in the horror sort of franchise,
No.
but those when you first realize those mannequins are moving, the moment the
Yeah.
moment you look away, it's like, oh, this is this is different. Um, but like I
I-
hear the Lake House is good, and I know how much you guys revere Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill 2 is very creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think they had specific locations. I mean, it's not like it deviated from the Silent Hill 2 locations, but I mean, once you get to the hospital, it transcends. It's
It does.
like specifically, like the apartments are great. Um, the claustrophobic feel specifically of the apartments is great, but once you hit the hospital, that's when it goes to another notch.
Yeah,
Um, and I mean, I can't fight a good nurse that I know that how that sounds, but like the nurse is one of the more iconic characters. I mean, Pyramid Head, of course, but the nurses are. I think they really kind of brought why the nurses are so creepy and why people who played Silent Hill um, remember that character specifically, that enemy specifically. So I don't know. That's my argument for there. Until Dawn, I think can safely be argued out
Yep. I
when you're
yeah.
agree.
when you're considering Lake House, when you're considering Silent Hill 2. I think even when you consider maybe even A Quiet Place as well, Until Dawn has its moments.
It does.
Um,
I don't think it holds up to. I don't know. I think like for me, Until Dawn, no. Quiet Place is good, but I don't think so. Lake House is fine. I didn't love it. To me it's like I don't think anything touches Silent Hill. Not just like Pyramid Head and the nurses, but also the abstract daddy boss fight is just terrifying. Um which is and then you have the other boss, Flesh Lip,
mhm.
disgusting. I think that is like clear number 1. I don't know. Black Ops is good, but I guess I'm like that's like 2 levels out of the entire game are somewhat horror related, like the mannequin level and then the end.
Right.
Um I would almost go Silent Hill, and for me probably Still Wakes the Deep at runner up, but not
Still wakes
Until
it.
Dawn. Yeah.
Still wakes the deep runner up specifically. You can
Yeah.
make that call because you played it.
I really like that game a lot.
Yeah.
I thought it was done very well. Out of all of these, I would play Silent Hill and Still Wakes the Deep again. I don't
Okay.
think I'd play any of the other ones again.
All right. Yeah. So we got Silent Hill 2 as the winner,
Okay.
and Still Wakes the Deep as runner up.
Sweet.
Silent Hill 2. I think if this was a different year, we would have a larger argument too. Because Silent Hill 2 is very good, but like think of some of the other horror games we've played in the last 3 years. I think it got a lucky year for horror. But anyway,
It did. Yeah, it did.
anyway.
Give it to us,
Um,
Barry. I'm gonna
Those-
argue with it. I'm gonna argue so hard on this one.
yes. Everybody's always waiting for the most Barry game of the year.
Yeah.
In which we have Stellar Blade, Persona 3 Reload, Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak, Thousand X Resist, and Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
I have a funny argument for this.
I had one too, actually.
So when I first saw this list, Stellar Blade, I was thinking, oh, the most Stellar Blade game award for Barry. That I was just so dead set on Stellar Blade. However, you cannot deny Barry's dedication to making sure Persona 3 Reload was done, which I think because of
Yep,
that dedication, he put off Metaphor
he did.
ReFantazio, or at least it pushed his scheduling so that Metaphor was not able to be played so that he could finish an Atlas game that got remastered, like, or an Atlas game that got redone. I don't know. I don't know.
Is there a reason you don't have Unicorn Overlord on here?
I
That
didn't
seems like a you game.
Don't get me wrong. I love my Fire Emblem dating sim type
Right.
strategy games, but we didn't really get that this year. And Unicorn Overload is so much different
Okay.
than a regular Fire Emblem game. So what I run into here is like the most Barry game usually means kind of the most anime.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
like Persona 3 Reload, like Legend of Heroes is definitely on that, and so is Grand Blue. Because Stellar Blade is more near than
Mhm.
anything else. Don't get me wrong, I love Nier. Nier is
You
an
do
anime
love
as
Nier.
well.
Yep.
You do love Nier.
But it's not the most Nier game of the year. It's the most Barry game of the year. Because
Legends of Heroes does have the longest title as well. That puts a
That's a big one. The
That
longer
is
the
a-
title, the better.
yeah, that is a big one for us. And I'm definitely going to be playing the second one after playing the first one here. Oh, this is tough. This is really tough for me.
What was that one year? The Legend of the Alchemist, the
Oh my
stolen
God.
key, the
Yeah.
stolen key from the gods of
There's another one coming out this year, right? In that series?
Yeah, it's a whole
Yeah.
different Atelier.
Atelier Rising. Give it to me, Barry.
Yeah, Barry should technically select the winner and the runner-up. Technically, shouldn't he?
It's true.
I am probably going to go. Man,
Don't get it wrong.
This has my name on it. This is something that goes on the box art.
That's true.
Of the physical copies.
Their stamp of approval.
Yeah, and if I have to pick one, the one that and I'm gonna do it. The one that surprised me the most is gonna be Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
Oh,
I'm going to pick Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, and Persona 3 Reload is going to be the runner-up.
I like it.
You hear that, Atlas? Get your stuff together.
I like it. All right, best companion game, the Warm Embrace Award. I've had this one for a couple years now. We have Dragon Age: Veilguard, Final Fantasy VII, Persona 3, Metaphor, Neva, Like a Dragon, Warhammer 20K, Dragon's Dogma 2.
Let's just cut Dragon's Dogma 2 out of there. It doesn't deserve to be on anybody's list for anything.
And Warhammer.
Yeah, because they end up hating you.
Yeah,
like in a lot of ways.
And they're just generic dudes.
Just generic bros. It's really
they really are.
Yeah.
Here's my question.
Yep.
Actually, maybe it's not a question. The games that see, and keep me honest with Neva, sorry. The ones that seem best suited that actually feel companion-esque games are Dragon Age, Final Fantasy VII, and Like a Dragon, because they are companion with you. They are walking with you. They have dialogue. They are following you. They comment on the surroundings. That feels the most companion-like. And that's me taking 2 Atlas games and just throwing them out the window.
Yeah, because Metaphor is not that way to you?
I mean,
you go back and talk, right? In the like the restaurant or
yeah,
whatever.
that's where the companion comes the most.
And the question needs to be asked is, who is man's best companion? It's usually a dog type looking creature.
Right.
Stop.
But like metaphor, they do travel around with you. It just doesn't feel, I don't know. It doesn't feel to me as I know I sound so anti-metaphor for somebody who literally thought it was the best game ever of the year.
Yep.
But like, I don't know. Again, when I was staring at this list prior to us filming, and like the days prior to this it felt like Dragon Age was the winner, just hands down, because of how attached you get, how you are indicative of their future. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, doesn't it seem like, I mean,
The ones that I'm most attached to, like, of the games here that I've played, the the side characters that I'm most attached to were Dragon Age, Final Fantasy, and Like a Dragon. Like, I felt connected to all of them. Um, I do think it's tough because initially, like, I think I would say Dragon Age because I'm like, yeah, you get to the end and you have that last mission, and just like in Mass Effect, like, depending on what you did throughout the game with each character and how you decide, it's like can be gut wrenching. But it's also, out of all of them, the one I played the last, so it's the freshest. But it was also very gut wrenching for Final Fantasy VII, right, with Aerith.
it was
Um, and also Like a Dragon.
Like a Dragon was pretty.
Yeah,
I mean, you're running through Hawaii with all your friends, is
yeah.
what it was. Um, there was a
Your
button. There was a button
your
specifically to say aloha to people.
There was.
there's a whole DLC based on your companions going back to try and, save you in Persona 3 Reload.
True. I didn't play it, so I can't, like,
Yeah, though that I will have to say that DLC is not great. But just the act of your companions going back. Um, and this is kind of what's hard about this one, at least for me, is the Dragon Age of Veilguard does have, like, as you continue to get and learn more about them, you do have some really good companions in there. Final Fantasy VII, is it not more of what we got from the first game? Yes, there are big character moments in here, and you definitely get closer to characters like Aerith and Tifa because they definitely get a bigger a role in Rebirth.
mhm.
But Barrett's section is pretty small, things considered. Like, I'm just trying to think of the overall whole where it's consistent for kind of each character. And Dragon Age, I think, fits that bill very pretty well.
Your companions in Dragon Age differs depending on what you do throughout the game.
Yeah, the choices you make.
Final Fantasy and Metaphor and Like a Dragon and Persona is all predetermined.
It sounds like all we really
Yeah.
need to do is choose a runner-up because
Yeah.
it sounds like we've chosen who won.
I think Dragon Age is the winner. The runner up.
Any BioWare game that comes out is going to win this
I think
award
so, yeah.
that year.
I don't know. It's a tough one. I like I said, I didn't play Persona. You guys played both Persona and Final Fantasy, so you got to make that call.
Man, I love the Persona 3 cast, man. Barry, what do you think?
I think about Red 13's thing, and it's like, man, that was really good.
You mean when he was in the armor playing cards with you?
Or when his voice changed and you were like,
Its
what?
voice changed. Yeah. Yeah, you have that. You have Barrett going back home. Everybody
I'm not
hating
a lion
him.
annemore. Yeah.
Yep. You have Tifa's stuff when they go back home.
Tifa stuff.
Aerith, obviously. Kate
I mean, let's do. Oh man, they really kind of did well
I want
with that part.
FF7.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
All right. Got it.
I think the Kate Sith thing was the nail in the coffin there. That moment made me sad. Like it's obviously supposed to make you.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
All right. Best character, aka the I Play for the Characters award. We have 1000X Resist Watcher. We
Sure.
have Louis from Metaphor. We have Eve from Stellar Blade. We have James from Silent Hill 2. We have Aerith from Final Fantasy 7. And then we got a Dragon Age, almost like just half the cast almost. Balara, Emmerich, and Tosh, specifically from Dragon Age.
I don't think it's James or Eve, right?
We could.
It's not Eve, right? You guys aren't going to fight me on Eve. She has no personality.
I'm not going to fight you on Eve.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Balara, man. She's so
Balara is pretty
innocent.
good. But also, I know Emmerich's, but also oh man, see, this is why I won the companion award.
That's true.
Um, I put Louis in there to shake things up for Metaphor. He is a fantastic character, and I really hope that both of you maybe dive a little bit more to see what I'm speaking about with that.
Okay.
I'm almost cracking up because I think this should just be a Dragon Age battle.
Yeah, but the thing again, all three of these characters are probably a little bit different for all three of us, depending on how we responded to questions and the time we spent with them, right?
Yeah.
Which is what makes it a funny argument.
Right. Like to me, like Balara was great because she's just like the most innocent character in the game. Emmerich is just cool. And Tosh was great as well. But you could also make the argument for Nev or, anybody else. Harding,
Right.
I don't know who Watcher is, Barry.
Yes.
Watcher in 1,000
Elaborate.
Time Resist, like it's the character you play as.
Okay.
And it's more or less like we end up going through her her experiences in how, and like it's kind of hard to explain, but in 1000X Resist, it ends up kind of being this puzzle thing where you're flipping between like past and present and figuring out how this happened so you can dispel the ghost demon spirit type thing that is like going over the world or like in the small area that you're in. They're very narratively driven, which I like. It helps. It helps you play the game, but there isn't like as much probably gameplay as you would.
Yeah, there's like no combat in this game, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things where like the narrative speaks for itself, and it's really hard to kind of give that its proper meaning when I'm really the only one that's played this game. Like I love, and that's what I could say about the Watcher. Like, did I expect 1000X Resist to get a lot of awards? No, but I do want to make it clear that this is like a narrative experience, beyond probably a lot that that I've played. It just kind of lacks in the gameplay department.
We're also glossed over Aerith, or
Yeah,
we not?
We did, didn't we?
We know Aerith. We know.
Yeah,
Aerith. She is a known quantity.
She is. Also really an innocent soul.
Yeah, I really like Balara too, though.
I don't know why I got so attached to her, and like she was not. I did not use her as my like romantic option at all.
She's mine.
Yeah. No,
oh really? I did not. She was like I don't know. To me, it was kind of like I viewed her. My character viewed her as like a sister almost. And I don't know how you guys played the game, but like for me, at the end, she's the one who got captured, and that was like heartbreaking. But yeah, I don't know. I think I love Balara. Great character.
Yeah, but again, it just depends on how really everyone.
Yeah, depends on how you played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
You can make it.
I would fight for Balara at 1. I like her.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Balara at 1. What's the 2? What's the runner up?
I don't know. I really like Tosh finding who she is. Like she struggles with multiple versions of her identity.
I feel like I can roll with that. I like Tosh. Tosh is cool. It's all right, Aerith. We still love you.
We do.
Yeah.
All right. Balara wins and Tosh is runner up. Dragon Age just won 2 categories in a row. Cool.
As it should.
Look, I hate that this game deserves a lot more praise, but because of the crybabies that played this game and hated kind of the open like sexuality and relationship that you can have with some of the characters, I think is just heinous.
Yep.
That's why I'm glad we have Tosh in our top 2.
Agreed.
Characters of the year.
I'm up next, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So best story, we have Final Fantasy VII, Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, Persona 3 Reload, Still Wakes the Deep, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Black Ops 6, Visions of Mana, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Ooh.
Are we going to actually select 2 of these? I mean, I could see us yelling at each other for FF7,
Yeah.
Reload, Indiana Jones. I could see Dragon Age. I could see Still Wakes the Deep has a case. I thought that was unique. I haven't even played it, but I know the story.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I would say Indiana Jones is good. I'm the one who put it on the list, obviously.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the story a lot. It is Indiana Jones, right? It just
Yeah,
they
but
managed, but they made a game based off a movie franchise and did it extremely well, which doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, and that's why I think it, like, for me, I like considering Indiana Jones 1 or 2
Okay.
I would.
in story, and I'd probably go with Infinite Wealth in 1 or 2 as well. And I didn't even play that game.
Yeah.
But like the only thing with like FF7 is we start getting into the Tetsuya Nomura Kingdom Hearts BS.
Yeah, we
at the
do.
end.
Yep.
And
Right.
and you can definitely fall off a cliff on some of that.
You guys know how much I love Final Fantasy VII. I can't give it best story in the middle of the 3 games. I
hear you.
I can't. Nothing
I
is
hear
wrapped
you.
up.
And I'm also I if you look up Indiana Jones games, you do not have to scroll long to find some type of review of how this is. It'll say something along the lines of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, the movie that we all wanted, or
Yep.
like that's how connected people felt to this game, of how close it felt to the franchise, where it's essentially the movie that Indiana Jones fans wanted, but it's in game form. So I'm okay with it being 1 or 2. Infinite Wealth is a great story. Um, I thought the pacing is fine. The only way you eliminate yourself from sticking with Infinite Wealth in the long run is if you just get too lost in side quests and other stuff. Like, the pacing on the
Yeah.
story is fine. It's great.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I'd be fine with, I would probably go Indiana Jones 1, Like a Dragon 2.
Yeah.
If we're looking at those 2. I feel like
I think that's fine.
okay. Would not have picked those 2 at the beginning of the year for best story, but here we are.
Here we are.
All right.
Here we are.
Best RPG. The What Is an RPG Anymore award. In other words, we have Visions of Mana, Final Fantasy VII, Persona 3 Reload, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Unicorn Overload, Metaphor, Dragon Age the Veilguard.
I have a question real quick before I forget. Yep. Remind me at the end. We should have a Harry Potter award, and it's an award for the game that we called as Game of the Year too early before the year. And we call it because just remember we were all like, "Oh, this game is fantastic. There's no way it's not Game of the Year."
Yeah, Hogwarts was February. Yeah, it came out too early.
Yeah.
Same thing this year with Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
All right, back to the category.
Best RPG. What is the best role-playing game? None of these are traditional RPGs, though. Not one. Metaphor is probably the closest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a hell of an RPG.
Because none of these are like your generic turn-based RPG. Metaphor is definitely the closest. Then, well, no, even Visions of Mana is an action RPG.
It is an action RPG.
I almost lean towards, because of that, Metaphor.
Yeah, I would go Metaphor. And I really loved Visions of Mana.
Me too. But I'm just thinking, like, to me, RPG is like traditional RPG. I don't know if I'm looking at it wrong. I do like Visions of Mana. I need to go back and play it.
I need to go back and finish that too. I think I'm like 20 hours in or something.
All right. I say Metaphor 1. What's the closest one out of all these to an RPG?
I feel like you. I was about to say. I think it's Unicorn Overlord. Is the next one there?
Yeah.
It's kind of like more of like this turn-based game, and the way you pair your units or stack them.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
Like, it was cool because you don't actually attack, but like Barry said, the way you stacked your units and the way you pre-did the battle, you would watch the battle and see who won. So, I mean, that made it cool. I need to go back and play that too, Barry.
All right, Metaphor and then Unicorn Overlord as the runner-up.
Yeah.
Cool. That was an easy one. I thought that would be tough, but it wasn't.
All right, best indie. Well, Indica. It's just funny they start. Indica. Animal Well. Still Wakes the Deep. Thank Goodness You're Here. Dungeons of Hindenburg. A Quiet Place. Nobody Wants to Die. And Balatro.
Okay.
I really like
ones in here.
I really like Dungeons of Hindenburg, but I don't think it's the best indie on this list.
I didn't play enough of Animal Well.
I didn't either. I think I
played it for like an hour.
How much? Yeah.
Not very long. The one out of all these that has the most hours for me is Balatro. Not saying that's what needs to win. I'm just saying that's the one that has the most hours.
No, yeah. I really like Thank Goodness You're Here.
Yeah.
I thought it was so unique.
It definitely is.
I
would probably fight for that.
Yeah, for me, like the three are Balatro, Thank Goodness You're Here, and I'm not sure how much people got into Indica. I did not play it, but Indica is very
That's good.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a tough one because I know a lot of people are probably going to bounce off that game when you play it.
Yeah.
You know, you're just going to be like, "Oh, hell no." But if you stick with it, I think it's worth it. I think like if indie doesn't mean original, but I think part of it is how original are you, because you can be when you're an indie. I think Thank Goodness You're Here is like there's like nothing like it.
There isn't.
I would say Thank Goodness You're Here and probably Balatro at 2. That would be my vote.
I'm okay with that.
It's Thank Goodness You're Here, man.
that game is so crazy.
Fair.
I love that game.
This one's going to be probably the easiest out of
all of them. I think so.
I think so.
Best sports/racing game, which sports games screwed up, at least the award, the Game Awards did, is what we're mentioning there. I'm going to mention all 4, but we have college football, 2K20. That's college football isn't 2K25. It's just EA Sports College Football 25, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's College Football 25.
There you go.
FC 25, Balatro, and Star Trucker. Now the winner here is college football.
Correct.
Yeah, yes. there is no doubt. FC 25 like does not deserve it. So it's either Balatro or Star Trucker.
Bro, I would fight for Star Trucker. That's why I put it on here, because I wanted to fight for a runner-up.
Then Star Trucker should be.
Love that game.
Yeah, Star Trucker is a racing game. Balatro is more like a betting kind of gambling fun in a really arcadey way. I'd go Star Trucker runner-up.
Star Trucker is just
all right, let's
hilarious.
Do it. FC 25 is no.
Yeah, college football. Screw you, Game Awards, for not even nominating it.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, I'm still playing it. Literally still playing it. And that has something to do with the fact of the playoffs. And obviously our team is still in the playoffs, but I'm just like, man, I just keep going back to that game. Best remake/remaster. They Did It Again award. Silent Hill 2, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, Sonic X Shadows Generations, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, Persona 3 Reload, Epic Mickey Rebrushed. Yep. Not Paper Mario.
Not Paper Mario. Although you heard the feedback on Brotherhood. Oh my God. I think anybody would have taken Paper Mario over in terms of Mario games this year.
Yeah, talk about a down year for Nintendo, as kind of Craig and I were even talking about before the.
None of us had a Switch game in our top 10 this year.
Right.
Crazy to think about.
That is crazy. Well, that'll all change next year if everything proves right.
Correct. Yeah, I think we're in for a good
Or this
Nintendo
year.
year.
This year.
Yeah.
I'm acting
Yep.
like it's not 2025
Come
already. All
on,
right.
Mario Odyssey 2.
Right. Oh my god. I am okay if we do not select Shin Megami Tensei 5. I thought it was very awesome what they did by adding content so that you can go and do a completely different story. It was really cool what they did. Um, but that does not make me feel better about it over at least Silent Hill 2, Persona 3 Reload, and what about Rebrushed?
I love Rebrushed.
Yeah, like Rebrushed is kind of like the surprise. Like
Yeah.
I didn't think we'd ever get anything like that. And that's where I'm more like Silent Hill 2 and Epic Mickey Rebrushed.
Those are my two. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if
those
you
are
guys
probably
wanted
the
to
two
fight.
I'd pick.
I don't know if you guys want to fight for Persona 3. Like, for me, Silent Hill, I think, is the winner because, again, initial reactions when we saw that trailer was this is terrible.
Absolutely.
And it turned out being one of the best games of the year. And again, Epic Mickey for me was like, I played that game when it first came out, and they did a great job remastering it. So,
right.
But I could also see you guys arguing Persona 3 over Epic Mickey.
It's a fantastic remaster.
Yeah. I know you guys like it.
But I do trust the Epic Mickey reception that I'm
I
hearing.
just like if we really needed a remaster, like if anything, like Persona 3 was always going to be like it's pretty well regarded. In even then, Epic Mickey was kind of the surprise in my eyes, where I didn't think we'd ever get something like that when, like, of course, with the popularity of Persona 5 and the regular other Persona games that I've been playing, 3 was the one that needed updated the most. So, like, I say Epic Mickey Rebrushed a second.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Cool. Silent Hill wins, Epic Mickey runner-up. Sweet.
All right, is it me?
Yep.
Best action adventure game: Stellar Blade, Wukong, Prince of Persia, Space Marine 2, Astrobot, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. The good old Stellar Blade versus Black Myth Wukong debate of action adventure. Even though we've said all year that Black Myth was a slightly better action, or at least I did, a slightly better action game.
Could be a hot take, but I don't think it matters because I think Indiana Jones is better than both of them.
Okay. Barry?
But I guess my only thing with Indiana Jones, and the biggest complaint I hear, is that it is very much a Metal Gear Solid type, where it's kind of sneaking around, hitting someone in the back of the head.
I didn't do a whole lot of sneaking, honestly.
Oh, okay. All right. That's how I hear a lot of people are playing.
You can if you want to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, as someone who has never beaten any of the Dishonored games, I know it's kind of parallel to that. But just the ability of like picking up literally anything in the environment and like smacking somebody over the head with a guitar or, you know, just like crazy stuff like that. The improv in that game is ridiculous. But I can see your arguments for Stellar Blade and Wukong as well.
So like I'm as you both have admitted, Wukong is a better game than Stellar Blade in a lot.
I think so. Yeah.
In some different ways. So I am between Wukong and Indiana Jones in the Great Circle.
Okay.
If you're as high as you are in Indiana Jones, I kind of like putting Indiana Jones at 1 because Wukong is also just kind of a Souls-like.
It is.
It is.
With a lot of bosses.
A lot of action bosses.
And Indiana Jones manages to become an Indiana Jones game without becoming Uncharted, which I think, and that's why but reminiscent of it as well.
Yeah, it has its moments where you're like, oh, this feels like Uncharted.
Why don't we go Indiana 1, Wukong 2?
All right. I mean, I'm not.
I don't know if we can't. I don't know if we can sleep at night knowing that we don't select Indiana Jones for a best action, but adventure.
Action and adventure. Yeah.
Yeah. Indiana Jones, literally, if you rearrange the words, you get the word adventure.
Yep.
or
Yep.
the letters. Oh,
Okay.
this is a good one.
Yeah, Barry.
Yeah. So we got biggest worst game piece
Yep.
of shit award. That's a hard one right there.
Yep.
And going in order, we have Foam Stars, Jujutsu Kaisen, Cursed Clash. I loved how we butchered Kaisen spelling there. Suicide Squad,
Doesn't deserve to be
Reynatis,
spelled right.
South Park Snow Day, Concord. Shout out
Rest
to
in
our
peace.
fallen brethren.
Yeah.
Alone in the Dark, Unknown Nine Awakening, and Funko Fusion.
So we can go two ways with this argument. We can go hype versus disappointment.
Yeah.
There's probably more than two ways, but these are the two ways I'm thinking. Hype versus disappointment, or like literally like my hate for how bad this game is
Yeah.
so strong. If we go the first route, then it's between Suicide Squad and Concord based off of budget.
Were we hyped for Concord though? We watched that trailer and we are all like, this game looks terrible.
No, but we did witness one of the worst flops in video game history if we're thinking budget, promise versus actual reality. That game lasted 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And had every other game on Steam playing more with concurrent players than it.
I mean, the one I was most hyped for was Alone in the Dark, and that game sucked.
Yeah, that game did.
But there's some. I don't think it's Suicide Squad. I don't think it's Concord.
Concord's not actually a bad game either.
It's not.
It just didn't do what it was supposed to do.
I didn't play South Park at all. I've heard it's terrible.
I see Barry's face right now.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like South Park, like.
Did any of us play it?
No, I was excited for it.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, and then because like I like the South Park humor.
Sure.
And then I saw the gameplay for this game, and then all the reviews came out, and I was like, "This is this is not it." And if you can't even be funny in a South Park game, how much of a failure is that on your part? Kind of deal.
Yeah.
I would also like Jujutsu Kaisen is really bad, but like it's kind of this, and you guys know Alone in the Dark more than I do, and maybe Funko Fusion. I did never play that, but like I see South Park Snow Day, Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash, and Suicide Squad as one of them, but because that is a AAA game that failed so horrendously.
But we enjoyed it.
Yeah. But it I guess it doesn't.
It's one of the few games I beat this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be okay with South Park winning. I put Funko Fusion on there because I feel pretty strongly that one, they made a style of game that is not as popular anymore, as in a ripoff of a Lego game. And then two, it's based on a property that is also not popular anymore, which is Funko's. Like they were like 10 years too late on this game. This should have been out on like the PS3 and the 360.
Why don't we do?
Looks like it.
So Snow Days at least 1 or 2 is what we're saying.
I mean, we can put it at 1. Barry's upset about that game. Let's put it at 1.
And then
I'm down for whatever for runner up. Do you want to do Jujutsu Kaisen? Is it that bad? I didn't play it.
Yeah. All right. Let's throw it on there.
All right. Jujutsu Kaisen. South Park and Jujutsu Kaisen. Suicide Squad and Concord escape. Just barely.
Well, Concord didn't escape.
No, it did not. Somehow it's still got a secret level episode, though. Go figure.
Right.
Okay. Best new idea. Balatro. Pow World. Nobody Wants to Die. UFO 50. Thank Goodness You're Here. Unicorn Overlord. Dungeons of Hindenburg. Oh, there's more. Slitterhead. Indica. Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2? It can't be a new idea. It's 2.
I think we just eliminated one from the runnings here.
Well, so the only thing with Helldivers is like the best new idea in the way that like that was a top down like twin stick shooter.
It was. Yeah.
and then they made that with
Is
it. So
that
that's
game a new idea though?
no, it's not.
Okay. I think this is my opinion, but I think it can't be Unicorn Overlord. We've seen those games before. Have we not?
It's more or less like the placement of your units in a squad.
Okay. We can
that
keep
I
it.
feel like is
Yeah.
I don't think UFO 50 because that is literally based off of NES like 50 and 1 cartridges that I used to play as a kid.
Okay.
They literally said that's where the idea came from. It's
Okay.
good, but I don't think it's a new idea. Thank goodness you're here is good.
Power Worlds was
Power World is
literally
good.
yeah, but
Is it
can
new?
you? It is. I mean, they're getting legislation thrown at them right now for being a ripoff of Pokemon.
They are. Slitterhead is a new idea. The game did not work out well.
Yeah.
Indica itself as a game is not something new. It's a narrative puzzle game. So I wouldn't vote Indica.
I really like Balatro and Thank Goodness You're Here.
Okay.
As the
Yeah. I would go Thank Goodness You're Here over Balatro because Balatro is a card game.
Yeah.
But it's a different kind.
I can get behind that.
2 wins for Thank Goodness You're Here.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Look at them go. All right.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the holy shit moment.
All right.
We got Whiteout, College Football 25, Headless Dude singing.
That's incredible. I can't change it. It has to stay.
Headless Dude singing in Black Myth Wukong. You had to be there.
Yep.
The opening cutscene in general for Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah.
The first lab that is visited in Stellar Blade. We have the horror elements in Black Ops 6, described actually earlier in this podcast when talking about other categories. Abstract Daddy Battle from Silent Hill 2. The Vahram fight from Prince of Persia. The Batman fight. Oh, I wasn't ready for that one. The Batman fight from Suicide Squad. Ending of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Iltaga from Hellblade 2. The Battle of Minrathous from Dragon Age, and the Nazi boat and Shanghai in Indiana Jones.
There's a lot of good ones.
There's a lot of good ones. I will help. I suggested the first lab because only in that game it switched the entire gameplay up. That's it. But outside of that, it didn't do it. That's where the holy shit moment lays for that. I think
can we take out, compared to the other ones, can we take out Abstract Daddy, the Batman fight, and I would take out the Prince of Persia one. Now that I'm thinking about it, just like those are good, but strike all 3 of those.
I think we could also take out Iltaga, maybe.
I don't know what that is.
That was the first giant.
Yeah, it's the fire giant.
Oh yeah.
You are running between cover to cover, kind of like it's almost like a music mini game, kind of. If I can
right
put it that way.
Okay. Yeah, that was good too.
Are we counting that battle, or are we also counting the follow-up? Because, like, if anything, I think Hellblade 2, that first giant, like, until you actually see her, the entire running series of, like, trying to get to a different place, the mountain and the ground's moving, then there's the scene where it's, like, everything's dark and you don't see her yet, and then you do, and it's not what we expected. Is that all counting in this moment?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Then that one makes a stronger case. I'm not saying it's 1 or 2, but I'm saying that entirety thing was a holy shit moment.
Yeah.
Did you want to narrow down the Wukong moments, Craig, to make it easier? Is it Headless Dude, or is it just the opening?
I think it's the opening.
I'm okay with that. The Headless Dude was more of a laugh out loud moment for me. Like the why
and it just follows you the whole level.
And he does. He does. I think the whiteout is a strong case because this is our award ceremony and how
It's
Yeah,
much.
but
true.
it's a good mention, but it is missing a couple like key elements to
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Such as
Storming the field when
true.
when you upset someone. I
Yeah, they
guess
need to
it's
add
more or
that.
less like there's the fight song, but like recently they started, and I get this isn't really their game, like the game's fault, but like the fireworks that go off as the team is coming around, it is
Yep.
very like I love that moment. I love it in real life. Um but it is missing like the like a whiteout, like they beat, a team ranked higher than them, and it's like it's a sea of white that comes onto the field. Like it misses that for me. Cause like if they did that right, like that is the holy shit moment, like
Right.
doing that. Um, whereas when I'm looking at all of these moments, I'm thinking still the horror elements in Black Ops 6.
Mm-hmm.
I may be more prone to that because I am such a little
No, it caught
baby.
me off guard.
And then like I've seen the opening for Wukong many times, and I agree it is like this really like cinematic, battle between gods that I think they do better than even like sometimes
Mhm.
like God of War, which is
Right.
also a battle of between gods.
Are you against the ending of Final Fantasy VII because it goes Kingdom Hearts?
So I'm trying to separate myself from the ending of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because like I loved the addition of Zach Fair
Yeah, it was cool.
into it. I like how my only thing is the moment the moment Sephiroth takes Cloud into the life stream, and it's just a ton of different realities and all these other alternative things that happened. Like I do think they do a good job of not making it as messy as Kingdom
Okay.
Hearts, but if I have to pick like a specific ending, is kind of like the trauma and the realization of, oh wait, everyone else saw sorry for spoilers of a game, but like if I could pick one moment, it's the holy shit of the everyone else just saw Aerith die and everyone's bawling their eyes out, and Cloud is sitting next to them and he's just talking to Aerith. And it's
Right.
it's that click of my mind that went, oh, he didn't process this. He
Yeah.
did not he cannot process
Right.
her. So like I'm between those three. Because
Okay.
if I had to pick, like it's kind of hard to pick the entire ending of like FF7 Rebirth, whereas like that click of like the final part of the game is kind of like, oh, because like I didn't know that. I did not know that that's how they would take the FF7 ending, and I don't know if they do it the same in the original game or not.
I mean, he goes a
But
little crazy when she dies in the original, yes.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah.
Especially for a stoic individual,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
longest time. Barry, I think you've made a solid argument for the FF7 ending, and specifically the part that you mentioned being either 1 or 2. It was a 1 argument.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm okay with
um,
it at 1.
because that is kind of like a holy cow. He's not processing this,
That
is
boy
he?
is messed up.
yeah,
That boy
talk about
messed up.
trauma.
Yeah.
All right, so opening Wukong, I know was in the talks,
Yeah.
in the works.
Horror elements for Black Ops 6.
I mean, I'm pretty sure both of those I said holy shit while I was playing.
You know what?
I also said holy shit with the Indiana Jones one, but you guys didn't play that, so.
Let's throw in the horror elements, guys.
Yeah?
I-
Because it comes out
yeah.
of nowhere.
Yeah, like who would ever think that?
Yeah.
Like, how many times have you seen the the Black Ops 6 specifically commercial, either when you watch like a YouTube video or whatever? I can't look at that commercial and think that later on there's going to be that.
I mean, they did it a little bit in the original Black Ops game. Not to that extent, but they mess with you a little bit.
Mm.
But yeah, I think they nailed it. I'm cool with that being 2. Cool. Barry,
All right.
you get our favorite category.
Yeah, so best single bop. What I'm going to do is do you have them in order of how they show up here, Craig?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say the name and then we will play a snippet of the song. You could
Yep.
pick whether the beginning Craig or somewhere in the middle or the end,
Sure.
whichever the
Sure.
DJ prefers.
Yes. DJ's choice.
Okay.
Aerith song from FF7 Rebirth, No More Promises to Keep.
All right. I'm trying to find like some actual. Hold on.
Look out, Wicked.
Dude, this song's so good.
Yeah, it is.
You ain't kidding. This is very Wicked like.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We then have the battle music for Metaphor.
All right.
Sounds like a battle's going on.
It does.
We then have the opening theme for Persona 3. And if you could, Craig.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm ready.
He has the minute.
Give it to me.
I just want you to go to, and I just need one more moment here while I pick
Sure.
this out here. It is the just go to 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
This thing is 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That's like near the
Yeah.
end, right?
I love this.
Yeah. It's you got the 5-minute version, right?
I think so. Is this it?
Yeah. Yeah. This is my song at the gym. I hear this at the gym and I am lifting anything.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, it's such a good song.
We then have the demo crawler from Stellar Blade, and this is probably like the opening of it is what Craig is.
Pretty good.
It is.
Okay.
It is good.
Pretty good.
The Lost Crown, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown.
Yes. Here you go.
Tell me I down in advance, staying up the way ain't enough. Even with time in my hands, I learned to move in the rush.
This is Arcane. That's what,
Yeah, I know, right? It's got an arcane drop and
Yeah,
everything.
very much so. Yeah.
Come on now. This is a dark horse on the list.
Yeah,
That is
that
a dark
is true.
horse.
Very
Here
much
it comes.
so.
yeah, that's pretty good.
Chasing the dog.
Oh yeah, chasing the dog. Now I got to go to YouTube for this one because apparently we can't. So
People love
good.
this. Yeah, people did love this song.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Yeah, where did that come from? Oh man.
Silent Street from
Okay.
Stellar Blade. I would just do the
Type
yeah.
A?
Yeah, just type A is fine.
I'll tell you this. I have a little bit of hate for this song because of how many times you hear it.
Yeah.
Just over and over.
But there is like a ton of different versions, but
There is.
we're trying to like not just go
Right.
with one version.
Yep. It's a good song though. All right.
Yeah, the piano in that's fantastic.
It's good.
and then Everglow from Stellar Blade as well.
Mm.
And it has some pretty good vocals
Does.
as well. And it's in English. We do have
Yeah.
that as well.
Sure.
Yeah, let the drop happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
The drop. On my Spotify top 5, just so
It's
everyone's
insane.
aware. Just had to make sure everyone knows.
That's a bop.
I think
I
we gotta cut it down to like 3, and if you want to
Yeah.
re-listen, we can. But
yeah, I hate this because this is
they're all good.
yeah.
I'll make this easy for us, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Demo Crawler was
Get
a
3 Stellar Blade songs on here.
yeah.
And he,
I would
it sounds like he's deleting one.
Okay.
I'm taking out Demo Crawler because that's not a song I would normally pick for this list. There's a lot of songs that I would normally have in air, but like that one, that was my Final Fantasy 16 boss battle song. And remember how much we loved those
Yep.
boss battle songs from that. But after hearing every song on this list, I don't think that matches a 1 or 2 selection.
Is it fair to say that like the Chasing the Dog and the battle music from Metaphor are like there as like the joke ones?
I
Like they make you laugh.
I mean,
I like the Chasing the Dog, but
let me put it this way: the battle music from Metaphor is not my favorite soundtrack for Metaphor.
Okay.
Not my favorite song for Metaphor. So, Chasing the Dog is there to make it. It was also if we had a holy bop moment where I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting this bop, that would be
The
number
Lost
1.
Crown, yeah. Or yeah.
yeah.
But
Do you think me personally, I would say Era Song to me was incredible when I heard it.
Mhm.
I'm obviously partial to the Prince of Persia one, and then I could take either Stellar Blade song, unless you want to fight for Persona 3 over one of those 3. I know you like that song.
I'm gonna be forward here. I don't think anything on this list is beating Aerith's song. I think
Oof.
that's number 1.
It's a good song.
It
What do you think,
pains me
Barry?
it pains me to say that, but we played a snippet. I'm remembering the visuals and the audio. I'm remembering. I mean, I made a joke about it being a Wicked song. I think
It
that
is.
should.
Yep.
I think that should state the quality of that song. As somebody who played Silent Street and Everglow 40 million times, Stellar Blade showed up on my recap of iTunes this year. I still don't. I can't. I don't know if I can argue anything really against Aerith's song. And I know that Barry is disowning me after this podcast.
No, like we've given Stellar Blade, like if we've milked the teat, I really shouldn't say that either. I'm sorry, guys. But if we've given enough love to any game, like it's our love for the music of Stellar Blade. So like if we're looking at like 1 and 2 here, I really like Aerith's song, and that Lost Crown song that you just played. I was like, oh, that is, that is surprisingly. I'd go Aerith's song 1 because of the emotions that we kind of all associate with that, and then I'd actually pick the Lost Crown song because that is a legitimate, actual song.
That's a bop.
It's a bop. I'm with that too. I mean, the 2 comparisons that I accidentally kind of made were Wicked and Arcane. So I think that's a 1 and 2 for that.
Okay. Look at that. Prince of Persia almost got something. All right. Air Song 1, Lost Crown, runner up. Games I wish I finished: Visions of Mana, Echoes of Wisdom, Unicorn Overlord, Elden Ring, Shadows of Erdtree, Metaphor, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Oh my God. Kintsugamé, Path of the Goddess. I remember that game.
The butchering on that name is, I love it.
Another Crab's Treasure, and Metaphor again.
I don't know why I put
Metaphor's in there twice.
That is my fault.
All right.
Oh,
Out of
um,
man, out of all these, I think the one I wish I finished was Visions of Mana.
Same here.
yeah, I also didn't finish it, and I'm actually, as we've been talking about it, I'm kind of sad there.
Did we just crown number one?
I think we
now?
just crowned it number
All
one.
right,
Not
all right.
even.
So what's
Let's
the
not
runner up
overthink
then?
it.
I think it's Visions of Mana. I do.
Um,
I mean, hear me out, but between Barry and I, does it not have to be Metaphor? Barry didn't even start it. Neither did I, other than the 10-hour demo.
did both of
No,
you
yeah.
finish Infinite Wealth?
No, I did not.
No, I never started. Like, if
I
you
didn't
talk about
finish
games
it.
I didn't start,
Yeah.
that's Infinite Wealth.
Yeah, that's the next category. Games I wish I started. Man. I mean, nobody.
I don't know, like I'm for Metaphor. I also am for like I can't say DLC. I'm not voting DLC. I can't.
Oh, is it Elden Ring?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think honestly, for me personally, it's either Metaphor or Like a Dragon, because I do wish I finished that. I got overwhelmed, and then other games came out, and that's a
then
game that if you put it down, it is very hard to pick back up again.
Mm-hmm.
Metaphor, I just didn't buy.
Well, I'm gonna stay back because I finished both of those games.
You did. Visions of Mana was the easy one. All three of us are like,
Right.
"Yep, wish we beat that game."
Wish we beat it.
Yeah.
I want to say Like a Dragon here because I feel like that's. I
Okay.
feel like as we take a whole of like all of gaming, I have a lot of people who probably like didn't finish like a Dragon.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the amount of people that would have finished Metaphor is a lot higher.
If you're buying Metaphor, you're probably beating it, or
Yeah.
you did
Right.
beat it. Yeah. All right.
Or you beat Persona 3 Reload and then needed a break from Personas. And
I mean, I get that. Yeah.
It's been an Atlas year. You
Yeah.
have enough games from Atlas or published with Atlas's name to do the whole year.
Yeah.
Almost. All right. Games I wish I started. Diablo 4, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Dragon Quest 3 HD Remake, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Balatro, and Warhammer Space Marine 2.
I just started Dragon Quest yesterday.
For me, it's Lorelei because like I hear that game's a lot of fun and it's got fun puzzles, but I didn't start it.
Yeah, for me, it's Lorelei and Balatro.
Okay.
No, wait. Actually, throw Warhammer in there too. I'm okay with any of those three.
I mean, we can give it to Lorelei. I didn't play it either, so none of us played that game. Out of all these games, this is the only one that none of us played.
Right.
So I think it has to win.
My wife says it's fantastic. I've watched her play, and it looks pretty freaking good.
My only problem with putting Balatro in it is that it is on, like, it's on every platform.
It is.
Really. Lorelei, you do need to kind of go, and that's why I like that at number one. Whereas I feel like a lot of people probably heard about Space Marine and then never started it though. I know. Yeah.
I'm one of those people. But every time I see it, I'm like, I should start playing that. It looks so freaking good.
Dragon Quest is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
It's great. I mean, I know I played Balatro, but I was telling Barry before we started, it opened up my eyes to card games and the fact that, like, if there's a card-based game, I always avoid it. But because of Balatro, I was like, hey, I hear a lot of good things about Slay the Spire. Let me try that. And then there was another one that just popped up on Game Pass. And I probably put, like, between those two games, like 20 hours in the past week into those card games. So it opened my eyes to a whole new genre that I would not have touched. Damn it, Balatro.
I mean, I'm still going to throw Balatro in there. Space Marine 2 for me.
Balatro. Yeah.
Cool.
I like
All right.
this one.
Is it me?
You know, it's,
Oh no, I just read
yeah, you just
that
read
one.
it. It's Barry.
Oh yeah, okay.
All right, so let me
Saw
just do that. Games we didn't need a remaster of:
Yeah.
Horizon Forbidden West, Last of Us Part 2, Until Dawn, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster.
I mean, the one that flopped the hardest was Horizon, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Until Dawn, now that I've played through it, it does look better. So I don't hate that they remastered it. Dead Rising is fine. I just don't think we needed it. I think it's Horizon.
I think Horizon as
Horizon.
well.
Yeah.
Um,
The Mario versus Donkey Kong is fine. I beat it.
Yeah, did we need
Yeah.
another Last of Us Part 2? Haven't we been talking about how Naughty Dog
I don't
just
think we
keeps
need
giving
it.
that
Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
they just keep we get it. You nailed
Yeah.
the game. You nailed the Last of Us series. Part 2 is arguable amongst different demographics, but we
Sure.
understand you are good at that. I don't know. That's why I'm excited for their new IP.
All right. Most anticipated GTA 6, Monster Hunter Wilds, Pokemon ZA, Ghosts of Yotai, Borderlands 4, Death Stranding at the Beach. I love that name. Alteria Rise, The Red Alchemist. That spelling's incredible. That was me. Expedition 33, Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta, Little Nightmares 3.
Can we talk about how it almost could sound like Left Stranding at the beach?
Left Stranding. Oh my god. Yeah.
Anyway,
I just don't want to give it to GTA because I'm so annoyed at them.
No, yeah, GTA. No, I'm not even thinking that one. Because
Ye-
like for me, I'm thinking of
I got one.
like, okay,
I think it's Expedition 33.
I
Right.
am also.
Because is that
Yeah,
not the
that's
one we're the
awesome.
most excited about? We're all like, dang, that looks good. I think it's
Yeah.
Expedition 33.
Put that on, man.
All right, what's the runner up?
Um,
I could hear arguments for all of these, really. Is there a
Yeah.
Pokemon game coming out this year, though, Barry?
It's supposed to.
Just like GTA, it's supposed to.
Well, no. So like they have like they come out with a Pokemon game every year. This is the first year that they haven't.
Right.
So this is one of those things where, like, with the new Switch that eventually gets announced, there will be a new Pokemon game with it. Like, that's the reason that we're getting this. I am more along the lines of something like Ghost of Yotai, Monster Hunter Wilds.
Little Nightmares.
No, and Little
Little
Nightmares.
Nightmares.
Is that third one in there? Whereas Borderlands 4 is now the fourth entry in a series that we kind of know. Monster Hunter Wilds is just kind of, we've Monster Hunter World. Death Stranding, don't even get me started. At the beach.
Left Stranding at the beach.
I know Altilia is just because Craig was putting it in there. And I will say, as someone who's never played Metal Gear Solid 3, I am excited for it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so good.
I think it's Ghost of Yotai.
It's Ghost of Yotai.
Okay.
I think that's the one. I mean, we're all like, yeah, Expedition 33, but I feel like we're all at the same time, like, yeah, Ghost of Yotai.
I have, whenever Little Nightmares decides to come out, I have that pre-ordered for like 8 months. I pre-ordered it when it was supposed to before it was delayed.
Come out last year.
Right.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
super excited for that.
The big honor now.
Here we go.
Gameth of the Yeareth.
I'm proud of us. We only have 8. Proud of us.
We only do have 8. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Black Myth Wukong, Astrobot, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Metaphor ReFantazio, Space Marine 2, and Visions of Mana.
Okay, well, so I think we could just take Visions of Mana out as we.
How dare you?
Look, don't get me wrong, but none of us finished it.
Yeah, true.
Right. So let's see here. So we're looking at some stuff here, and I'm just looking to thin the herd.
Agreed.
If you would.
Space Marine can go.
Space Marine 2 can go.
Yep.
Now, I am also, and this may be something that some people do not like. I am for taking Astrobot out. Don't get me wrong.
Stacked up against all these, I think I can agree.
I third that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be a runner-up, so that's why I'm okay with.
Yeah.
It's not going to win, and I don't think it's going to be a runner-up. So.
And don't get us wrong, everyone. Like, we love Astrobot and the platformer that it is. I did have some issues with the controls of the platformer, which is kind of like you have to nail that.
Right.
If that makes sense, just because sometimes it's not as responsive as I had hoped. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. There's a part of me that wants to make Dragon Age the runner-up, regardless of what wins.
Okay, but so let's.
I don't know, man. That game.
It was good.
Yeah. How do we feel about Black Myth Wukong compared to these other ones?
That is you too.
So to be honest with you, now that my Black Myth Wukong hype has died down, I've put the weapons down. I've walked away from the many bosses. I'm okay with it not being first or runner up. It's a fan effing tastic
super
game.
Good. Though. Yep, super good.
And please, anybody out there who's developing games, please make games with bosses around every corner like there was in this game. Please.
Yep.
That's all I'll say.
And they're all individual and they're all completely different, man.
Right.
I didn't play Metaphor. Neither. If that's all you, Craig, you're fighting that hill by yourself.
What can I say about Metaphor that hasn't been said?
That's true. It's an Atlas game.
It's an Atlas game. The art style. I think the way they were able to weave the story and how they were able to keep you in. I don't know. It's here's where it's like now that we're down to 4. I personally think that Metaphor is my game of the year, but I have the fortunate aspect of working with both of you guys.
We went through our personal ones.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, which is where I'm transitioning to how it is hard to make a case with you two guys, because like I see why Craig would think it would be Indiana Jones or Rebirth. I see Barry why you think it'd be Rebirth or Dragon Age or Indiana Jones. You know, I could see where your guys' heads are at.
Okay, but out of these 4, there's only 2 that all of us beat. Final Fantasy and Dragon Age. Those are the only 2 games on here that all 3 of us beat.
I think
I just want to say my issue is I really wish we would just put Indiana Jones for next year instead. Because
I don't like that though. Like it gets because they're not gonna.
You're right. You're right.
They're not gonna nominate it next year, and nobody is.
I
and
actually wouldn't be surprised if they did.
They're not going to. There's no
way.
I
mean, here's the thing. They nominated Troy this year for the actor.
They nominated him for the acting, but the game somehow didn't qualify.
So that is the Game Awards acknowledging that they are aware that Indiana Jones is part of the awards ceremony, but we're not going to nominate them for any of the game-related aspects of it.
Because it came out too late.
Yeah.
Even though it was still 2024. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I was just looking at it as like, okay, Final Fantasy and Dragon Age, we both played the whole way through, all 3 of us.
I think it's fair that is good criteria for 1 and 2 of
it should be for the game that as a whole, as a podcast we're picking, we should all have beaten it. I think, or at least played the majority of. I'm the only one who played Indiana Jones. You can make an argument, Craig, because you beat Metaphor and Barry and I both played 10 hours. So you could make an argument there over Indiana Jones. We could
wait till next year when you guys beat it, and then we can argue. I'm joking.
I don't even know if I'll beat it.
I will.
I know you will. Yeah.
We all know this.
Yeah.
I am okay with us deciding whether Rebirth or Dragon Age should be Game of the Year. I'm okay with that. I fought for it as my own singular thing. Metaphor is an amazing game. It is classic Atlas, down to the artistic style, down to the music choices. It's just we beat 2 games on this list collectively. 3 separate gamers who have similar tastes, but get together every week to do a podcast, beat 2 of the games on this list. All 3 of us. We had the wherewithal in all of our busy lives to narrow the time to beat 2 games
Yeah.
that are listed here.
Barry, I
So,
appreciate you arguing for Indiana Jones for me.
yeah, no problem. It's what I'm here for. But I run into the issue of, so I think about game of the year, and how can I nominate Rebirth when I think I liked Remake more.
Think so?
But it's more or less just a, the reason I like Remake more is because of its linearity. Like, I understand, like, there are problems for me with Rebirth. With, don't get me wrong, the mini games are fun. There are a lot of them,
Mm-hmm.
and the Gungaga is a lost maze in which it is very hard to sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes travel through.
Great point. Great point. I never wanted to go back there.
You're right, because if you think about when the third game comes out, and if as me as like a gigantic Final Fantasy VII fan, when I have all 3 games on my shelf, and 5 years from now I'm like, I should play through those again, I will start Remake and be so excited. I will get to Rebirth and go, oh crap.
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
Not that it's not a good story, it is, but I'll just remember the 85 hours it took me to get through it, and I didn't
Yep.
even do everything.
Exactly. That's how
Rebirth was my game of the year.
it was mine.
Indiana Jones on my personal list was higher than Dragon Age because it was 2.
Yeah.
I had Final Fantasy 1, Indiana Jones 2. I think I had Dragon Age 3 actually. But again, you guys didn't play it. That's why I'm trying to be like
Objective here.
yeah, because you guys could play it and be like, oh my god, I hate it.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't
There are
think
some
I'd-
things, I was going to say, there are some stuff that I've heard, like, from other podcasts with Indiana Jones with critiques that make me hesitant, but I do
Sure.
think I'll
I had to take breaks with that game. Like
Okay.
I could not marathon that game. I would play it for like an hour or 2 hours and then not play it for a couple days because I was like, all right, I need to, like, I'd clear out an area of everything you have to do and be like, oh my god, I need a break. But as a whole, when you finish it, you're like, oh my god, that was incredible. But it can wear you down for sure, just like Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Are you guys making a metaphor case? Is that what you're doing?
I
am
won't.
trying to find reasons to pick
Yeah.
at all of the games where,
Is
for
there only one
me,
where is Dragon Age only one where
that's
cohesive
that's,
on? As
that,
like
and
start
that's
to
what I'm
finish was
getting
good?
at.
Yeah. That, I mean, we all enjoyed that game with no issues, right?
Yeah, the last mission is
Yeah.
and it's one of the things where, and you, Metaphor probably does this too, but Rebirth gives me the taste in my mouth where, okay, I know something else is coming, where I kind of like the fact that Dragon Age, like, it's this thing, it's complete.
Yeah. Finality.
Yeah, in that final mission that makes me feel like Mass Effect 2 all over again, which is one of the best ending missions and ending
Oh my
sequences
God,
in a game
yeah.
I've ever played.
Oh
Yep.
my god, that's so good.
So and that's where
I mean,
that's yeah.
Dragon
I-
Age 1?
Dragon Age 1.
Man, people are going to come for our heads.
This is our list. I don't
Yeah.
care.
I don't either. I'm just saying that's a bold take. I would have not expected that coming into this podcast, but I mean, I'm not against it. Dragon Age is a great game.
Cause like, can anybody come up with like negatives that they didn't like about the Veilguard? Like, sure, I'll be the first to admit I don't like that in a BioWare game, like, none of your decisions really mattered from the past games. Like, they just they very lousily kind of like made decisions in Inquisition that you could make that
Didn't we argue the
very
loot before?
subtly.
I liked the way the loot was handled.
I do like the way the loot was handled. It's a little confusing, and that's why I had to ask Craig questions about it before.
Yeah.
Because it's not necessarily like you're not getting 40 things of loot. You're getting armor pieces that you upgrade as you find the copies of them.
Yep.
Which
Right.
I wish more games did, to be
Yeah.
honest.
So do you guys? Is it a fight between Indiana Jones and Metaphor for runner up, or you
Or is it
still
a
think
fight,
Final Fantasy?
or is it a fight between Final Fantasy and Metaphor for runner-up?
Yeah, could be.
There's many times this year it feels like it's always been a fight between Final Fantasy 7 and Metaphor.
It has
That it
been.
has. That it
Yeah.
has.
Well, I'll tell you what Metaphor did do. It gave you a feeling of
Full.
being at peace, at
Yeah.
full. Yeah, for full. Yeah.
Then let's go Metaphor as runner up. I'm cool with that.
Hurry up and do it. Somebody italicize it. That's what
That makes our list completely different from anybody else's.
I know.
Final Fantasy and Indiana Jones somewhere in the 3 and 4. I'm not going to debate where those two fall. Dragon Age
Wow.
wins and Metaphor is runner up. We always surprise ourselves with Game of the Year every single year.
Well, to be fair, I did think you were gonna fight for Rebirth a lot more. So
Me?
like, yeah.
I mean, did the remake win? Didn't it win that year for us? Game of the Year?
Oh, I'd have to look back at the tapes.
I think it did.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I agree. Like those middle movies, middle games, and trilogies are always hard, and it's still
Right.
a good game, but it's a middle game.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Well,
All right, we did it.
We did it.
I would proudly like to announce that our high sensitivity podcast game of the year is Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
Everybody hide as rocks get thrown at us.
Yeah, I was about to
Right.
say, yeah, here come the tomatoes and rocks, and people are going to they're just gonna say we're doing it because we're woke.
Mhm.
Like
There
the
we go.
woke agenda,
Which
has
we
entered.
are. No,
Yeah.
sorry.
Fair.
We're not sleeping right now. We are
We
awake.
So just as we kind of do our closing statements here, I do want to thank everybody for their support of the podcast as they do every year. These last 3 episodes are always a lot of fun to do, and I just want to make sure that we kind of give our due credit to, all the work that both of you guys put in and all 3 of us do for like all the games and movies and TV shows we watch. Like Craig, you've been an excellent addition. I love the fact that like we have a third head to bounce our ideas off of. Craig, what you
Thank you.
undertook with movies this year is second to none for what I know.
Way too many.
I will definitely be like on my personal Facebook page. I want to make sure people know what you've done. So that'll be put out there. I need to be a better gamer, but I do.
Gaming's hard.
Well, yeah, and thank
gaming's
you.
hard.
But thank you, Barry,
Dude.
for being the glue. You
Yep.
run it. You have the algorithm that we tackle. Or we bounce a lot of ideas off each other. Yes, but you open it, you close it.
Listen,
I'm the
Barry.
editor.
You may say I don't beat a lot of games, but yeah, you do get the podcast edited, the YouTube videos up. You know what I mean? Like that takes time away from gaming.
Yeah, and
Right.
and I do play the weirdest anime games out of all.
You do.
So I,
You do.
that does take away from Metaphor and Indiana.
Yep.
But you, the person who listens every week, thank you for sharing it. If you've shared it, commenting before, Dark Vader, I'm sending you out a special. If I could, I'd send you out a special gift basket of stuff. You constantly do comment on our stuff. Let us know you're listening, and I always appreciate seeing someone just put that on there. I appreciate the people who like the video. I don't even see who likes it, and I appreciate you guys who like the video and watch it. And I hope that you guys take this list, have fun with it. Let us know what we missed. Let us know how. I keep hearing about a game called Mouthwashing, which is apparently very good. Well, none of us played it because we have all, full-time jobs that we can't play every game, especially every good one. But just have fun with it. Let us know why we missed a game for best music, or why I picked the wrong most Barry game of the year. I'd love to hear how I didn't pick the most Barry game or the best indie. There are so many to choose from. Thank you for listening, and we hope that this helps you guide your game picking decisions of the biggest games of last year. And let's roll into 2025 and have an even bigger year. Let's Let's get the Switch 2. Let's get the next Pokemon. Let's get GTA.
Right.
Let's get Monster Hunter and all the other fun games that we're supposed to get. So remember, it's all about having fun. And I hope you guys have fun hope you had fun this year and have fun the coming years as we continue to do this. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys, and let's start the new year off right. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
See you.